McKenna Haase starts out every day like any other 16-year-old girl. She goes to school, spends time with her friends, but at the end of the day, things are a bit different.
When I was in 3rd grade in about 2005, I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma with my grandparents to watch my cousin race a junior sprint car. And it was at Port City Raceway, and I got to go in the pits and help all night, and I instantly fell in love.
Most fathers don't expect their little girls to grow up to want to drive race cars.
I went to Iowa Speedway to watch my first NASCAR race, and when I was there I saw a display for Slideways Karting Center, and we talked to the guys and they said that I could race one.
My initial reaction was that was kind of cute and fun, and that's how most hobbies start off.
Then I started running league with the men and competing there.
I saw what was once cute now became very competitive.
In the beginning, my parents weren't going to let me race. They didn't like me to say the R word.
I said no. I didn't want her to do it at all.
So I went to a track for kids outside of Knoxville. They were really reluctant to take me to watch at English Creek because they knew that I would want one.
It wasn't an option, and she just kept asking and pursuing. And
so in August of 2009, we went down after the races, and they geared me all up and put me in a car and pushed me out on the track, and I just pushed the pedal all the way down and kind of imitated what I've watched the drivers do. The guy looked at my dad, and my dad looked at me, and they pretty much didn't have much choice, but my dad had to buy me a race car after that.
Kenna, it's time to wake up. It's time to go racing. Come on.
Okay, stop. I get up on my own. Hot laps in 5 minutes. It's really like the greatest feeling in the world.
it's exciting. It's scary.
I'm not really scared of the dangers of it, I guess. Race car drivers are kind of fearless people.
I'm thrilled to watch her race, but I am terrified the whole time she's racing.
But you still have your concerns and worries. She's still your little girl.
I've always loved Tinkerbell, and I wanted Tinkerbell in my car.
She's always made a point to keep it on her car, so I can't help it.
I've always said that the dirt that we race on has to have a little bit of magic in it and a little bit of pixie dust to make it so special. It's not just dirt, it's pixie dust.
Watching McKenna compete against men is very difficult because you don't see that in any other sport. You wouldn't see a little girl competing against grown men on a football field or baseball field or any other sport. Do you see that mix of age and gender?
There were so many times when I came home from Sideways bawling my eyes out for 45 minutes straight because I was never going to win a race because I didn't weigh enough to go fast at Sideways, or faster than the boys at least.
The faster she went and the more she drove and became more competitive, she became a threat, and I became very resistant to that because of the threat of the danger.
When I'm on the track, I enjoy competing with men. Like, I know they don't always like it as much.
I don't worry about that. She can handle herself. She's proven over time that she can drive with them.
She's beating the guys out there. She's a 16-year-old girl. That's really unheard of.
Of all sports, she's crossing a barrier Danica's done it and a few others, but to watch her do it in sprint car racing is scary. It's constantly a factor. It's part of the racing is they flip and they wreck, and there's not a great deal of research as to what the outcomes will be down the road for her getting slammed around inside that race car all the time.
You know, the last thing I want to happen is she goes out there and wrecks or has an accident or something because it's something I forgot to do or didn't get around to doing it or checking it. So that's my main concern is her safety.
I'm always afraid she's going to wreck or someone's going to wreck her, and they will, and they have.
She was at Newton, and
That was the first major wreck I'd ever have, and to this day it's the worst one I've ever had. I was on the outside of the first place car trying to pass for first, and my right rear clipped the wall, shot me forward, and I hit the wall pretty much head on.
and started to flip end over end.
Everything's flying, parts of the cars are crushing, and
You were so close to the ground that you could just let go, reach out and touch it. It was just right in front of your face, and then you would just see that, and then you see the black sky or the lights, and you see that over and over and over again, and it feels like you're in there for 10 minutes. You just don't think it's ever gonna stop.
I remember her helmet coming off of her head and rolling down the track.
I really couldn't see the whole wreck. I just seen the car, you know, and I heard the crowd and stuff. And so I went up over the top of the fence. Her eyes were just huge. I mean, they were, and you know, she said yes, but my car. So it seemed like her first concern was her car.
the person inside, you're most worried about them. You don't know, you don't care about the car at that point. You don't care about the money that it's gone into. You care about the person inside the car.
I felt like it was all gone in the blink of an eye.
The car was destroyed and she was injured, and we were in the emergency room, and I was, you know, I was kind of grateful. This is it, we tried it, it's over, it's done.
A lot of kids are gonna not come back after a crash like that.
I just didn't think I could do it.
I was wrong.
Nobody ever sees or really understands or feels the emotions of a race car driver winning a race. Because obviously, we can see it because we're inside a car going really fast.
When she wins, or even when she races very well, it's a feeling of pride you can't describe.
Kind of justifies all the hard work and sacrifice.
When I won my first micro race, I was literally driving around the track 2 laps, looking at the scoreboard, making sure 55 was actually in the #1 spot.
It's like winning the Super Bowl. It's very exciting. It's exciting to see her win, and it's exciting to see her beat the boys.
It's pretty exciting. It's quite an accomplishment.
When McKenna gets on the track, it's fun sometimes to hear the crowd around me. A lot of them are her fans, and a lot of them know who she is now.
Fans are everything to me.
She is by far the #1 favorite, and she is great with the crowd. She's really very outgoing. She takes her time. She signs autographs.
They're just really helpful. I just think it's really cool how somebody will take the time to come watch you race on the weekends and buy your merchandise and get your autograph and support you and treat you so well. I always try and give back to them because I want to treat them the same way that they treat me.
A lot of little children, especially little girls, will look up to her and just be like, wow, I want to be just like her.
Probably the turning point for me this season was when she raced in the Kylie Memorial. That was a little girl who died unexpectedly while having a seizure. She's a huge fan of McKenna's. It was a photo finish.
To the final 18-point shot, for McKenna! Wow! If the line's here, I believe McKenna got it.
And everyone in that stadium was rooting for McKenna.
Like when you join racing, you get adopted into the biggest and best family in the whole entire world.
Whose car is that?
Sure you don't want to put some laps in.
Kenna.
Wish you well.
Look at that.
I love my racing family. I look forward to seeing them every weekend. It's kind of like this never-ending train of support all across the country. I have like my little brothers and sisters that race little cars, and I love like helping them and being there for them and supporting them. But then like I have people that I look up to as well.
McKenna always tell me I'm going to be a race car driver, and that's what I want to do. Like, everyone knows that's what she wants to do.
It's just the coolest thing in the world, I guess, and there's just nothing else like it.
You know, when you think your kid's just living a fad or going through a phase, and then you realize it's her gift and her skill, and she's going to pursue it no matter what.
She wants to just go and take it as far as she can and get to that point where it's her life.
This is like it. Like this is where you want to make it. I've raced in so many states, in so many cars. I've just been very lucky these past 4 years. And so if I get the opportunity to race a sprint car at Knoxville, I don't care if I get dead last. It's just, it'll be so cool. I look at my race car and my trailer and every little piece of anything racing, none of it would have ever existed without them. You don't always get the opportunities that you wish you could have to thank them for it, but they definitely deserve to be thanked. You start a race, you cross the same line that you cross when you finish a race, but yet, like, so many things have happened in between there. I've been amazed at what's happened so far, so I guess I don't even know what to expect in the future. I just let it play out like it does.